Hello, hello. Alan Cole is here. Let me know if the microphone's working. I unplugged it accidentally and then I had to plug it in again. John is here. Tommy Taylor's here. Okay, how's everybody going? Sounds good? All right, cool. Cool. Awesome. All righty, so time for another live stream. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'm going to change the sign. Let's see here. Any news? I'm going to do the channel news Wednesday. I'm going to be traveling starting on Wednesday. So I don't know. I won't be doing a live stream on Friday night. I think I'll do the live stream on Wednesday, but Friday night's probably going to have to be postponed again, like last time. But I'm going to another nap-in. Jesse's here. All righty. What else? What have I not shown as far as signs go lately? I haven't shown this one. Got to make do with what you got. Who else? JF Baird is here. Hello. Ed Gould is here. Everybody's here, almost. Happy Monday to everybody, right? It's happy Monday. It's not happy. I was never happy on Mondays. Except Mondays was usually the slowest day at work. Friday was the busiest days. For drafting, it's the deadlines on Fridays that get you. We hardly ever had deadlines on Mondays. Let's get it done before the weekend so we can ship it out. Yeah. Sometimes we had deadlines on Mondays. But usually that's when we start our email routines and get all the emails out. You know, it's email day on Mondays. So it used to be anyway. Nowadays, it's my auctions. Tommy Taylor says, hello, everybody. Where's Mike's and Jim's? I don't know. Alan says, I survived my 30-year high school reunion. It was a long weekend. Survived it. There wasn't any drunken brawls or anything, I hope. Bren is here. Not much. Busy day at the doctor's office. I see. Doctor's offices. I hate doctor's offices. All right. These are clean. They had a big, I don't know how I got grease on them or something. On my glasses. I guess they must have fallen into my bowl of soup. Okay, so the lighting. I'm not going to be able to do work on my studio backdrop until after I come back from this next nap-in next week. Mike Tufts is here. Alan says, I'm getting too old for these parties. Yep. I got too old for parties when I was a teenager. I used to like the birthday parties and all kinds of stuff like that, but then I got sick of them after a while. I don't know how. I don't know. The ADHD or the autism kicked in. I don't know which personality type doesn't like, other than, introverts, which personality type does not like parties. I can stand them for just a little while, and that's it. But I'm not the type that goes home early from a party. Right? If I'm going to go, I might as well stay. But I usually shut down after about an hour or so, and then you'll find me just either chatting with one person or just sitting by myself. Alan says, closing the bar down 2 nights in a row. I haven't done that for a very long time. I see. Graylin is here. Hello from Southwest Louisiana. Jesse says, Patrick, that Mexican green stone on your art point in the auction is awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I got lucky when I found that. I went to look for rocks at the last Knapping to buy some rocks, and there it was. Eric's Rocks. He had a collection of a bunch of stuff, and he had a little pile of that Mexican green right in the middle. He says, yeah, I can't get that stuff anymore. The cartels, they pretty much control all the trade in and out of that area. So I guess when you're collecting in Mexico, as far as stones go, people are watching you. That's what he says anyway. Maybe to justify the high price, because that stuff costs a lot of money. Oh, yes. In fact, it costs more than anything I've seen so far. Even more than heat treat Brazilian agate. I'm trying to remember how many grains in 1 ounce. That green stuff is like $5 an ounce. Brent says, no, my wife and I both had appointments. Both of you had appointments at the same time? Jesse says, I would love to try that someday. Flakes like obsidian, but maybe a bit more durable. Yeah, it's like a hybrid between high grade raw stone and obsidian. It feels waxy, but it's not like stone. It's not like raw stone. It's not like obsidian. It's in between. It's an alien stone. And the closest thing I can come up with is a opal, but it's a lot more durable and a lot more flexible than opal. Yeah. Mike Tuff says an ounce is 4 fingers. What does that mean? 4 fingers weighs an ounce, an average of, I don't know. Let's see. Mike Tuff says, that is a nice point. If I didn't know what it was, I would have told everybody it was green kryptonite. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks artificial, but it's not. I got more of it. I'll be napping more points out of it. I only have like 3 more pieces. Yeah. So I'll be napping hopefully 3 more points if I don't break anything. And I can't get big flakes off of the stuff I'm napping either because it's all thin stuff. Ross Wellman is here. Hello from the golf course. Oh, dang. Smallzilla's here. Howdy, Patrick. I made it. You made it to the stream. Yes. I just changed the sign. You missed it. Anyways, I'll put a new sign up. Well, I'll change the sign every live stream. Yeah. I got to paint the figurines. Oh, and Harley, can you print out a little squirrel to scale with these guys? And it's got to be smaller than this, than the possum. And then a fox, a gray fox, which will be probably as long as this fox. And then my collection of animals will be complete because I don't see the groundhog anymore. I don't see any chipmunks this year or any brown rats. Buckskin NYB is here. Marty's here. Mac Bales is here. He says, on my way to Coshocton, hope to score some high-grade Coshocton black. Need any more, Pat? Yeah, I could use more of that because somebody keeps asking me for it on the side. I say, I can't do anything on the side, but I can offer a lot more on the auctions. Jesse says, Patrick, have you ever used a glass cutter on slabs to make 2 pieces? Yeah, I have a video on how to snap a stone slab using a glass cutter. I'm going to try it on the piece Land gave me. Just high-grade stained glass cutter. Just the high-grade, stained glass cutter. Yeah, just use a regular glass cutter and score the stone slab. And then you put a rod of steel on the ground outside. actually on the ground, on the dirt or on the grass outside. Just put the rod down, and then you put the slab on top, making sure that the score line is right on top of the bar, and then you step on one side of the slab with your foot, and then the other foot goes on the other side of the slab, and then you push down or put your weight on it, and it should snap right at the score line. I have a video on it. It does work. Just got to be careful. Mike Tuff says, remember someone asked me about the indestructible bopper? You got me thinking. Well, obviously there's no such thing as an indestructible bopper, but I made something compromisable. The ones that are lasting me the longest are the ones that have screw tops. So, Mike, if you could make more of those screw tops, the ones you can interchange the caps, those have lasted me the longest. Bill Taylor's here. Awesome. Find room behind you for the pig. I miss him. Oh, the pig lamp. I retired the pig lamp to my other room over there. I got to change up the scenery. Can do, Patrick. All right. As far as Harley says, he can make the other miniatures. And I got to send you some dimensions on a pressure flaker, or I can just make them up right now. Let's see. The dimensions on a pressure flaker, 6 inches long, 1.25 inches where you would put the tip into the flaker and then taper down to 1 inch at the other end. Okay? Make it 5 inches long. 1.25 inches where you insert the rod or the nail or whatever, and then taper down to 1 inch. Of course, you round off the end where it has the tip inserted, right? But I like it tapered to where it gets fatter near the tip. I keep forgetting to send you a drawing. 5 inches by 1.25 by 1 inch. And the 1.25 is up near the tip. It could be any color, any material, right? You're going to 3D print it. I mean, any color of the material. Let's see here. Mike Tuff says the indestructible one is a handle like a bopper, but you can insert a 4-inch, 3/8-inch copper rod or aluminum or steel. It has 2 opposing set screws like the pressure flakers. Oh, okay, I see. I got a super chat. Buckskin, NYB. Marty gave me $4.99. Thank you. Comment is Knapping Fund. Thank you. I can definitely use that for the Knapping Fund. I regularly spend money on knapping stuff, yes. Mac Bale says, Pat, I'll see what I can round up. A farmer friend has a bunch of it, I think. Cool. Talking about Coshocton. Yeah. Mike Tuff says, one end is pointed for extreme pressure flaking, the other end is rounded for direct percussion or flaking. Sounds good. Jim Cooper says, hey guys, say hi to Jim. Ed Gould says, some hankles made into ghosts for tree ornaments would be nice. For Halloween. Yeah, I can hang some Halloween stuff up here on the tree. When the time comes, it's coming up soon. Let's see, I don't know what I'm going to be napping today. I'll just pick something out of the box. Let's see. I need to do some unboxing stuff on that Danish flint. Is Matthias not in the house? I need to show everyone what he sent. Danish flint. Ed Gould says some hankies. Okay. some hankies made into ghosts for tree ornaments. Yeah. Hydrocodone is my friend today, said Jim Cooper. Okay. Pain medication, I suppose. I think that's what that is. Mike Tuff says, I uploaded pictures of the tool in the community section. Oh, dang. Wow, Danish flint sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm going to unbox it on video. First person view. Yeah. I will be chatting on that video. I probably should do it tonight, right? If I feel up to it. All right, let me check the community. Let's see what Mike Tufts posted. All right, so that hydrocodone is a pain medicine. Okay, so let me look at the community. Let me see the newest 3/8-inch direct percussion flaking tool. There's something there. Let's see, which way am I scrolling? I see. Yeah. Okay, 2 of 2. Only 2 pictures. All right. Sweetness. Mm-hmm. Three-inch direct percussion tool, flaking tool. You mean indirect percussion? Indirect, not direct. Right? Let's see. Most people watch the live streams every chance they get. I did a poll on the live streams. I had 3 live streams per week. They're 2 hours long. First hour is yapping. The second hour is yapping. I meant to say napping on the second hour. 11% don't even know what a live stream is. I don't know if they did that for grins and giggles or what. 11% don't know what a live stream is. 68% says they watch every chance I get. 13% says I don't watch because it's not a first-person view video. And then the last one, what? I didn't know or I can't see them. 8%. So if you combine 8% with 11%, 1 out of 4 people have no idea what's going on. That's a lot. 1 out of 4 people are going, huh? What? Yeah. That's surprising. Yeah, I thought it was going to be 68% don't watch the live streams because it's not a first person. Because I only get 300 to 400 views on the live streams, 300 to 400, where I get 3 times that much on a regular video. Okay, so I guess only the people who know how to get to the community are watching the live streams, because most of these respondents, you guys, are say you watch a live stream every chance you get. I'm trying to figure this out, and it's almost impossible to figure it out. What's going on with the channel? Yeah. The only thing I can figure out is when someone doesn't like something, then I know. But when you like something, it's hard to figure it out. What's going on? Does anyone have Danny Moore's info? Says Buckskin NYB. Danny Moore. I'm getting confused with Brad Moore. I don't know. I don't think I have Danny Moore's info. Does he have? He has a YouTube channel, doesn't he? Just comment on one of his videos. Say, hey, dude, I've been trying to contact you. Let's see if he has a YouTube channel. He probably has a Facebook. Right? Danny Collins. We all know Danny Collins. Oh, dang, look at all this stuff. Danny Moore. I bet you he's on Facebook, but I don't have Facebook on my spare phone. Thank goodness. I'm almost tempted to delete Facebook entirely. I like Instagram. Let's see. Oh, I'm missing some of the chat here. If you're new, the first hour is nothing but chat. The second hour is when I start napping, so you can come back in 45 minutes if you're interested in seeing some flint napping. It's going to be this view here, so it's not as good as the first person view, I think. All right, Keith Callahan, or Keithers, is here. Just rolled in. I was out taking pictures of a fog neck knife I made this weekend. Okay, flake over grind neck knife. Cool. Jesse, this black material is much harder than Delrin. I see. Marty says, I sent some KRF to Sal. I think it got down there to him today. I bet he's having a good time right now. Ross says, Buckskin, I need to get your email. I want to try that KRF. Yep. Marty, Sal mentioned that he got your package today, says Mike Tuss. Cool. It's a little short for indirect tool, says Mike Tuss in the picture. Yeah. So direct means that you're using it as a vertical punch, not for vertical punch. I don't know. I'm getting confused on what that tool's used for. Mike says you can use it as a vertical punch, especially if you're going to run long blades off a flake core. Okay, I see. I think I see what you're trying to get at. But that's also indirect. A vertical punch is also indirect percussion, not direct percussion. Drew's Concrete is here. What's up? Marty said, okay, we're looking for Danny Moore's info. Yeah. Mike says, I like it because I can put it in my pocket and take it to the river. I see. Ken says, old patent chat, I hope it was a good weekend for all. Yeah, it was pretty good. I got to sleep. That road trip wore me out. Although I think I ate something that didn't agree with me on the way up there. And no more convenience store food for me. I'm bringing all my food next time. Let's see here. Okay. You guys are speaking to each other, which is awesome. I'm trying to get in on a conversation here. If you have a question, please ask before I start napping. You got 45 minutes. I've already got my super chat. I usually ask for one super chat before I start napping. I already got it. Marty gave me the super chat already, so everything's all set. I'm just gonna try to see what's up in the comment section. Mike Tuff says you're using it. He's using it like a bopper. I gotta see. You gotta do a video of how you're using it, Mike. Jesse says, Mike made that tool with a hollow socket at the end. We can slide it onto a rod for indirect, pressure flaking, direct, everything. It's a multi-tool. I see. Yeah. Harley says, question, Patrick, when thinning the tip and base before the middle, is there a ratio you want to keep while you progress thickness-wise, like keeping the middle 2 times the thickness of the ends? No, it's not that drastic. But, you can try that. But I try to taper the ends down, so it's kind of hard to measure. But taper the ends down to nothing, almost sharp, and then leave the middle thicker. 2 to 1 seems to be a pretty good rough estimate, but it doesn't have to be that drastic. Just make sure the very ends are tapering down to nothing. If you can. Sometimes if you're reproducing a certain style that has a thick stem, then one end is going to be thick and it's not going to be tapered down to nothing. You can nap that way too. As long as at least one end is thinned down, it improves your chances of success and reduces the snap and halfishness of the piece. Hey, Sal's in the house. Hey, Patrick, and all you gentlemen. Yeah. Let's see. Mike Tuff says the video will cost you $3, Patrick. Okay. Hippie Mike is here. Hey, how's life, Patrick? It's good. Life is good. I haven't seen Hippie Mike in a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. Long time no see. I might go to Tennessee next year. Yeah, I'm probably going to go to Tennessee in May of next year. In fact, I'm planning on it now that I'm thinking about it. I want to go to the next Tennessee Classic. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody say hi to everybody. Don't forget to smash the like button. Yes. Danny Moore is here. People are asking for your information, right? Danny Moore, give your information to Buckskin NYB. Yep. Jesse says, Drew, you can email Patrick for emailing addresses. Yeah, he has it listed on his page. Yeah, you can send me an email and remind me to send someone else's email to you as long as you have their permission. I will do it if I have their information. But one of the last times I was asked about an email address, I didn't have it. Somebody's address I didn't have. If I don't have it, I can't do it. If you want me to have your email, send me an email, okay? And then type in a message. Hey, you can send my email to the guys in the chat on your live streams. Here's my email, because now you can see my email because I sent you an email. But make sure you include a note that says that, because if you just go, hey, Pat, what? Okay, you send me an email, okay. But I need to know why. Yeah. Let's see. Sal says he got Marty's package today. Yes, now we had to have it confirmed. Hippie Mike says, by chance, did you look into the Battle of Beecher Island? No, I don't think I did. Did I? I don't know. Let me see. It doesn't sound familiar, but that doesn't mean anything, because with the way my mind works, I could watch a movie on something 2 hours ago and they asked me, did you see that movie called da-da-da? And I would go, no. And then they would have to explain the movie. Oh, yeah, I just saw it 2 hours ago. But you didn't know the title? No, I don't know the titles of these things. Just like my ex-wife used to do this to me all the time, too. I would go buy something or I'd pump gas. And she had said, okay, how much was it? I don't know. I just put the card in the machine and did its thing and I left. And same with the gas pump. I don't know how much it was. Same with watching movies. I don't know what the title is. I just watched the movie. Okay, so the Battle of Beecher Island. Is that what it is, really? Beecher? Because if you give me the wrong name, if you didn't type it in right, I'll be lost. Danny Moore says, I'm getting a pretty nice box together for Marty. Lots of tools and some nice flakes. Last time we chatted, yeah. Let me look up Beecher Island and see if I actually saw that. Okay, it's a Cheyenne. Beecher Island Battleground with the Cheyenne. The Beecher Island Massacre.
The tragedy at Beecher Island. In September 1868, I was among the 50 soldiers and scouts under Major George Forsyth. We camped on a small island in the Arickaree River. We were there to stop Cheyenne warriors, but they found us first. Early in the morning, around 500 Cheyenne, Sioux, and Arapaho warriors attacked. I remember the fear as we scrambled. We were trapped on that tiny island, fighting for our lives. The warriors surrounded us, and for 9 long days, we struggled without enough food or water. I felt ashamed watching watching from behind our makeshift barriers as both sides suffered greatly. Some of my friends were among the 6 soldiers who were lost, and 50 of their warriors were laid to rest. Rescue finally came, but the relief I felt was mixed with shame. We were saved, yet at what cost? The land around us was stained in crimson of unnecessary violence. The tragedy at Beecher Island.
Okay, now I've seen it. I did not see it before, or no. Yeah, I didn't see it before. Now I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Hippie Mike says, oh, that's where you live. Okay, so where is it? Let me see here. Hold on. I'm trying to figure something out here. And I type very slow if I'm like trying to pay attention to other things. Hold on a second. Let's see. Come on. Where is it? It's near present-day Ray, Colorado. The Ray Point is probably named after Ray, Colorado. Location within Colorado. Okay, so it's in the northeast section of Colorado. That's where you live? Start a Knapping. Everyone asks me, is there a Knapping in Colorado? Hippie Mike, start a Knapping in Colorado and try to help us with our misery. Yeah. Not everyone. Lots of guys have asked me in the past, is there a Knapping in Colorado? There used to be a Knapping. There used to be an awesome one in Colorado. Now it's gone. Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas corner. Yeah, you got a lot going on there. Okay, so what did I miss? 7 survived the battle at Beecher Island. Dang it. Mike Mason is here. I'm driving back from setting up a chicken coop. I'll be listening. Awesome. Cool. That's good. What else did I miss? So Smallzilla is the only one that asked me a question? Roman Nose was killed there. Roman Nose, the Indian, right? Jesse says, I sacrificed my Hohokam point for you to break the bad juju. Said he's telling Sal. Let's see. Let's see. Is Red Eyed Patriot in the house yet? Okay, let me see. I forgot my flex capacitor. What's a flex capacitor? What? What's going on here? What in the wide world of Flintknapping is going on in the chat? Jesse says, I went to one of the rivers about 20 miles from Mesa Verde. Not much luck with nappable river stones. Yeah. Smallzilla, again, let's see. Patrick, I had another question, but I forgot it. Just ask the obvious question. Why don't you just nap the whole time? Why can't you just make all napping videos? And that's just do lots of napping all the time, every time, all the time. 24/7, 365. Why can't you do it? Yeah. You know what's funny? One of the weirdest comments I ever got, I still can't get over this, is one guy said, after I started posting more stuff. He said, I hope this isn't gonna be a habit with you. Post, because I started posting memes, I started posting shorts, I started posting more videos. He says, I hope this isn't gonna be a habit with you. What the heck? If I subscribe to someone on YouTube and all of a sudden I see a lot of their posts in my feed, it's a good thing. It's like, hey, I didn't waste my subscription. The guy is posting and making content. That means my subscription isn't wasted. I would never, ever in my life say, you know what? I see too much of your material in my feed. I hope this isn't going to be a habit with you. Who would say that? I mean, am I the only one that person is subscribed to? That might be it. If I'm the only one and he only wants to see one post per day on his feed, I can understand that, I guess. But still, even if I was subscribed to only one person on YouTube and they posted more than once per day, and I was thinking I only want to see one post, if I see 18 things in my feed and I only have time to watch one, it's still a good thing because I can look through which one do I want to see. I would never say, I hope this isn't going to be a thing with you now. So that was the weirdest. If you want to know the question, what was the weirdest comment you ever got? That's the weirdest comment I've ever got. I have no idea. And if there's more people like that, then I'm not understanding how some of these people are using YouTube. Marty says, good auction today, Patrick. The guys are firing back as soon as I bid. Oh, dang. All right. Another question here. Harley says, here's a question, Patrick. What is your personal procedure for preparing pine pitch? I'll be collecting some here and soon was wondering if you have any tricks. Yeah, my trick is when you finally heat up the pine pitch and strain it and get a pure pitch without all the little inclusions, I mix it with regular clear hot melt, low temperature hot melt. There's two types of hot melt you buy at the store, like at Hobby Lobby or Lowe's or something. Get the low temperature hot melt and mix it in. I think I've done half and half before. I think that's the ratio that I use. Actual hot melt from the store, the new kind, the modern kind, with the pine pitch. It makes it better. It doesn't make it as good as regular hot melt, but it makes it better. And you can mix it with either clear or black modern hot melt, low temp. Why not high temp? Because if it's a high temp, it's more difficult to liquefy, right? You got to use a slightly higher temperature, and then the pine starts to emit a lot of smoke with a high temp hot glue mixed in with it. That's my trick. Now, if you want to do a natural mix with no artificial ingredients, you can mix in up to 10% beeswax, or 1 part in 10, like 10 parts by weight of pine pitch to 1 part by weight of beeswax. I think that's the mix that people use. It seems to make it better. I've never received better results with beeswax. It always stays the same as, barely indistinguishable from regular beeswax. Regular pine pitch when I add beeswax. There's a way to get the ratios correct, but you've got to experiment. And I didn't have the patience to experiment with my pine pitch. So I just add modern hot melt glue into it. Why does that work? Because it makes it more flexible and less likely to snap in the haft. Okay, because pine pitch just by itself will snap really easily. It doesn't hold. Oh, the other thing is you can mix asphaltum with the pine pitch, also half and half. That works. but it's brittle as well. So if you really want a nice mixture, 1/3 modern hot melt plus 1/3 asphaltum plus 1/3 pine pitch by weight. And then I like to stiffen it up with pure talc powder, not charcoal, not anything else, no scat, no fibers, talc, pure talc, not cornstarch or some other talc. Don't take your talc powder off the shelf in the bathroom and start putting it into the pine pitch mix. It has to be pure talc, which is a volcanic stone that is impervious to heat. So the heat is not going to affect it at all. Whereas if you put in fibers like wood fibers or something that is affected by heat, like cornstarch or whatever, it's going to get weird when you heat it up. Okay? But there's a bunch of pine pitch mixtures. If you look up Cutler's resin, Cutler's resin, CUTLER''S resin, RESON. That's what they used to use for hafting knives back in the day. You'll get mixtures for pine pitch. And the traditional Cutler's resin has brick dust. Yeah. Apparently there used to be lots of brick dust as waste. So they would just scoop it up for free and stick it in the pine pitch, and with beeswax also, I think, to make Cutler's resin. Jesse Garcia's here. Hey. I can go on and on about pine pitch mixes. I don't use it anymore, though. It melts too easily. The melting point of pine pitch resin is so low that you've got to be living in a place like Vermont, which it'll probably work here, where temperatures rarely get above 80 degrees, even in summer. That's where you use pine pitch. If you're in a hot climate, you need to use asphaltum by default. No pine pitch at all in your mixtures. Or don't use any glue at all in hot climates, just only sinew. Maybe hide glue. Hide glue actually works pretty good to glue arrowheads onto wood. Let's see. Let's see here. Some people have no filter, especially online, says Ken. Oh, yeah. And especially if they're anonymous. Then they change from, Dr. Hyde to Mr. Jekyll or whatever it is, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They turn from Dr. Jekyll into Mr. Hyde when they are commenting anonymously online. Alan Cole says, people suck, that's why I help animals? I guess so. Smallzilla says, some very good advice. Thank you, Patrick. I found very straight, long ash tree that I plan on turning into a very large thrusting spear. I made a Burlington Clovis that I'll attach to it. Sweet. Although for a spear, I don't use rock for the tips. I use bone. Why? Did I break it before? Yeah, I guess so. A handheld spear with a stone tip will be a handheld spear with a half a stone tip within 10 minutes. If you give it to me, you say, hey, Pat, here, you can walk around with the spear with a stone tip the whole day if you want. I said, gee, thanks. So I'm walking around with it and, I'll bump into something and I'll go, hey, what was that noise? Someone must have dropped an arrowhead. No, I'll be walking around and, okay, this is cool. I like it. The weight and everything is well balanced. And here you go. And I'll give it back to you without a tip. I don't know what happened to it. How do I know that happens? I don't know. So I use bone for the tip of my spears. If I make one, it'll be a bone tip. Mike Tuff says, are there certain types of trees to collect the resin, or is it any pine? Well, the best tree to collect resin from, in my opinion, is spruce. It's a different consistency. It's a little less brittle. So yeah, it makes a difference. I've got pine pitch from different trees. I've got it from white pine. I've got from ponderosa pine. I've got it from other kinds of pines, all mixed together. But spruce seems to work better, I think. But it's expensive if you buy it, and it's hard to collect. I could never get spruce from the trees out here or any kind of pitch. They're all very non-pitchy. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this. The tree could have a total damage on one side. There's no resin coming out. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Yeah, you can buy pine rosin because people make violin string pine rosin blocks where they just they rosin up their bows, as they say. They sell the resin by the pound. That's where I buy mine. If I want a pure resin. But like I said, I don't use it anymore. I just got some stuff sitting around. I've got pine resin from different people that I need to experiment with to see how it goes. I might revise my opinion on spruce if I find something better. Yeah, don't buy pine rosin by the ounce from these guys on eBay or whatever. It's a ripoff. Try to buy it by the pound. Yeah, like Kiefer says. Yeah, it's now $18 a pound. It used to be like 12 to 16. Sal says, I've only heard Charlie Daniels say that. Rosin up your bow. You haven't heard about putting pine rosin on violin bow strings? How do I know this? One of my sons used to play violin. I mean, he still does, but he hasn't touched a violin in years. Let's see here. Sal says, yeah, Marty, that would have been great under a tree. Okay, we're talking about something else here. Let's see. Alan Cole says, I sent Douglas fir resin. Okay, I've got your Douglas fir resin sitting on top of all my stuff. Okay, I got to try that. Harley says, Patrick, I'm also going to try and collect some reeds for atlatl darts. We don't have river cane here, but we have Phragmites australis, which I am told should work. Any tips for drying? Well, where are you located? I forget. Because any state above Texas, I guess, has reeds that don't work. You've got to be south or southwest to find the reeds that actually work. So Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California has workable reeds for atlatl darts. Now, if you can get canes, like river cane, switch cane, hill cane, then you can get that from like North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, probably Kentucky, the Appalachian Mountains below Pennsylvania, I suppose. I haven't seen anything good for arrows or darts from Pennsylvania north in the Northeast. But you get south of Pennsylvania, you start getting into the river canes and stuff. Those are okay. And very far south in the U.S., you can have sometimes good giant cane. It's all considered Phragmites australis, right? But there's differences depending on the altitude and the place where it grows. The reeds that grow in dry areas are much tougher and better than the reeds that grow in wet areas. Okay? Drying is simple. You just weigh it. If you're worried about, is it dry? This is what you do. You gather your reeds or whatever, and you place one on a scale. Cut it to the rough size. Put it on a scale and write on the reed the weight. Wait a couple of weeks. Weigh it again. Write the new weight. Wait a couple more weeks. Weigh it again. If it's the same weight as the 2 weeks before, it's already dry. If it's not the same weight, if it's still going down, wait another 2 weeks. Weigh it again. When it stops losing weight, guess what? It's dry. How do I know? I don't know. Same with stone. Same with bowwood. Same with arrow shafts. Same with anything. Just weigh it. Wait 2 weeks. Weigh it again. If it's the same, it's dry. If it's not the same, it's not dry. Let's see. Yeah, reeds are not good usually. You got to be in a certain area of the country or a certain altitude. Let's see. Where are we going here? Oh, Mike says, I don't know where you are, Harley, but around me there is some domestic bamboo. It's hard to find, though. The cattle industry almost wiped it out off the face of the earth. Yeah. Here, we've got lots of reed here in Vermont, but it's Thatcher's reed. It looks like European import. It's not good for arrows at all. You can snap it between 2 fingers, or 3 fingers. It's just useless except for thatching. And there's a bunch of it. Sometimes there's entire fields. I think they let it grow, and then they alternate it with corn or something. Because I saw on my way to my Knapping last week, I drove by some fields that I know used to be reeds, but now there's corn. So I think they're alternating. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they're selling the reeds as thatch to somebody, and they alternate it with corn, but they don't mix it back into the soil. They don't mix the stalks back in. They're selling both of the crops, I guess. I don't know. There's all kinds of cane in Kentucky, says Jeremy. Oh, yes. Florida has lots of cane and bamboo as well. And it just grows on the side of the road. If you go to Florida, a lot of people go to Florida for vacations and go to the beach and stuff. Look for canes in Florida and bamboos. Danny Moore says, what is Patrick's email? I'm having a hard time finding it. jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Jackcrafty, the number 2, @gmail.com. And it's right, it's everywhere. But if you can't find it, that's pretty typical. It's in my profile. If you go to my YouTube profile, it's in my auction descriptions. It's in the description box in most of my videos. It's everywhere, but unless it's tattooed to my forehead, a lot of people just cannot seem to find it. And I'm not going to get a tattoo to my forehead. So yeah, jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Mike Mason says, I have yet to retrieve bamboo for myself, but I will be trying to get some rhizomes to culture some. If I'm successful, I'll try to see about getting you some alive. Cool. Salt cane, says Patrick Trousdale. What is salt cane? Hey, Keith Ricketts, $5 super chat. His comment is, you can find a lot of marbles in Florida too. Keefers and his marbles. No, Keith. This is Keith Ricketts. This is not Keith Callahan. Let's see. Keith Callahan says, what do you use to heat your mix? I use a heat gun I got from Patrick's favorite store, Harbor Freight. I put the mix in a small metal pan and heat the bottom. That way I don't cook it too hot. Yeah, I use a hot plate, electric hot plate. There's a dial on the hot plate. So that controls the temperature. What's a hot plate? Electric hot plate. Just type in Google electric hot plate and you'll get like 500 different versions of the hot plate. And a lot of times what I use it for is to keep my cup of coffee hot in the winter. But there's a dial on it. You can cook stuff on a hot plate, electric hot plate. What I like is the dial. That's why I keep mentioning the dial, because it'll dial in exactly when the mix starts to melt. And then you can tone it down a little bit so it'll stay liquid. Okay? You don't want to have it really, really hot when you're working with it. You want to try to keep it as cool as possible, because the more you heat this pine stuff up, the worse it gets. You know what I'm saying? Heating, cooling, reheating, cooling, reheating, and cooling the pine pitch stuff degrades it over time. It becomes more and more brittle because all the terpenes or the flexibility stuff in the pitch evaporates. The stuff that makes the pitch more flexible evaporates out the more you heat it. Let's see here. Somebody's thatching roofs. Is it cool where you are? Mike Tuff says, dang, I went outside. I need a sweatshirt. That's already cool in your area? That's awesome. Yeah, Keith Ricketts, release the hounds, man. It's 27 likes and 38 people watching. Oh, I know why they're gathering, because in 7 minutes I'm supposed to start napping. Let's see. Mitchell Martin. Hello, Jack Crafty Flintknapping. This is my first chat comment because I'm normally watching you on YouTube TV. I reckon I'm a lurker. I appreciate the videos and I love your work. Thanks. Well, thank you. Thanks for the comment. I need to make you my PR guy because that was an excellent comment. Administrator is in the house. Let's see. Let's see here. It's true, a homemade knife in the car. Yeah, anything stored in a car in the South, if you're using pine pitch, that stuff will melt and you're going to get that everywhere. It's going to be terrible. If you're living in hot climates, my advice is don't use any kind of pitch glue. Just use straight sinew without any glue. If you have to use glue, believe it or not, chewing gum is an option. Yep. Did they have chewing gum back in the day? That's an interesting question, because they used to chew spruce gum, and after you've chewed it and let the saliva get to it, there's a stage where it acts like gum. It doesn't last, but it is sticky, kind of like gum. And you can chew the spruce gum. At first, it'll kind of crackle and get all crumbly in your mouth, but after your saliva gets to it and after you've been chewing on it a little bit and break it down, it will start to clump together, and you can take that out of your mouth and use that spruce gum to fasten on arrowheads and other things. But you can use regular chewing gum, and believe it or not, it works good as well. And it doesn't melt quite as badly as pine pitch. in a hot car. And it's relatively natural because, you can chew on it. It's relatively natural stuff. So you're not going to be like, well, it's not purely natural because, it's artificial and it's modern and it's got cooties because it's modern. Just mix chewing gum with charcoal, powdered charcoal, or some black substance, and it'll work. I use duct tape to hold my marbles in place, says Keith. I'm not even going to go there. Let's see here. Everyone says hi to Mitchell. Yes, cool. All right, I'm going to start napping soon, so get your questions in before it's too late. Mike Mason says good napping weather right now. I don't know. We got like almost 80 degrees earlier today here. It was hot. It was relatively hot. It was 90 something in the shop earlier when I was napping. Joe is here. Joe Rodwald. I wish I could cool down here. I wish it could cool down here in Southwest Idaho. I'm ready for the fall. Yeah, me too. I like the fall. Danny Moore says, I got to order some stone in this cooler weather coming. Yeah. Cooler weather is excellent for napping. Keith says, so that explains all that chewing gum I pulled off under the desk from school when I was, that was hard as a rock. Yeah. As chewing gum ages, it gets harder. Yeah. Which is good. Mike Tuff says, I get the nickname MacGyver after making a hookah out of the Kibbles and Bits dog food container in high school. What are you up to? Alan Cole says, I make doo-doo with what I got. Or do you use doo-doo in stuff you make? Don't use any doo-doo in anything you make. There's a culture out there that says you need to put scat in the glues that you make. Do not do that. I need Sev to make fun of you, those guys who use scat in their glues. It's disgusting. Yep. And you heard it here, folks. I think using scat in the glues is disgusting. Not only that, but it can give you diseases and parasites. Because guess what? You're playing around with the glue and you're mixing it up and you're using your finger to smooth out the glue that's got the scat. And if you're out in the wilderness, how many people really disinfect their hands when they're cooking a meal out in the wilderness after, messing with the hot glue with the scat? Not very many. And you might say, well, the hot glue is going to kill all the diseases, right? Why are you worried? Well, you've got to touch the scat somehow, and it's going to get on the sticks or it's going to get on whatever you're using for tools. So you're going to have scat residue on your fingers, and you're not going to do you bring alcohol wipes with you to clean your fingers every time you are thinking of sticking them in your mouth or eating something? I don't think so. Anyway, I'll get off of that. But I just think it's one of the silliest trends out there. You got to use your noggin. Of course, we got too many dum-dums these days. Back in the day, if you were to do that back in the day, you wouldn't live very long. Today, we just take antibiotics. You get parasites or you get some weird disease, you can just take antibiotics or go to the doctor. They'll give you a little cleanse. They couldn't do that back in the day. But then people would say, yeah, well, they knew the potions that you could take to make you better. Even if you were eating scat, you could take a potion because they knew all the medicinal plants. Yeah, but how did they know that was where you got your disease? You would have to try many different potions to see if it works. And by that time, you might die.
I wish you would have lived one more day because we were going to try one more potion. Dang it.
Okay. What is this? All right, I got to start napping. I'm having too much fun chatting. Yeah. Danny Moore says people are nowadays putting poo in a Ziploc bag and letting it turn for a couple of days and sniff it for a buzz. What? Aaron Wilson is here. Hello, Patrick. How's Monday going for you? It's going good. I'm about to start napping because you've already missed the first hour. We were talking about all kinds of secrets. Yeah. Mike Mason says, as someone who dabbles in plant medicine, it's better to avoid needing it. Yes, the best medicine is the prevention. Don't be a dum-dum and do stuff that could get you into trouble. Jim Cooper says, Terry Pratchett said, all mushrooms are edible, but some only once. Yeah, that goes for anything that's poisonous. Mitchell Martin says, I wanted to share that I just received an obsidian order in the mail. I ordered 20 pounds. I got two rocks. One is 17 and a half pounds. That's a good deal. Yeah, especially if you need to practice up your spalling. Jesse says, what about that fancy poo coffee from that animal that eats coffee beans? They grind it and drink it. Yeah. Don't mess with scat. All right. We're going to start napping. We are. Yes, we are. And it should be good. Because I've got a bunch of good stuff. I got boxes now of good stuff. Right? Right. Let's see what I got. I got some stuff back here. Excuse me while I look into Max Bales' box. Or no. He sent me a bunch of Kashopton. Okay, so maybe I'm not going to nap that yet. Let's see. I got some stuff from Bill Hansen. Should I nap that? How about some Jefferson C? Who else I got stuff from? Jim May sent me some stuff. Hey, I got this is good. Should I nap this one? Oh wait, you can't see. I should nap that one. I'm glad he told me. Yeah. Yeah. Nap Jim Main's stuff he sent you. Just nap that. Yeah. Okay. Two things from Jim Main. These are nappable stones. What kind of stones are they? Stones that are good to nap. Yeah, but what's the names? Get your names right here. Yeah. I'll get you some names. I got your names right here, man. You don't need no stinking names. All right, so you want to see napping, yap and nap? Now's your chance. We're gonna get some nap and yap going here. All right, I got my lucky apron on, so we have a better view. And I'm gonna be yapping during the napping. Yes, yes. First, I'm gonna nap this rock that you don't know what it is. Some people can figure it out just by looking at it, and some roadside truck stops actually have this in the landscaping. How do I know? I don't know. That one I have no idea how I know that one. No. Okay, so it's a heavy bopper. This is like an 18 ounce. I don't know. Anyways, you don't need to know that either. Just use whatever works for you. Yeah. I like hammerstones. But if you like hammerstones, use hammerstones. Don't bug me. Oh, this is going to be nice. I don't know. This is too nice for the live stream. I need to nap something that's not this nice. Yeah, this snaps too well. Let's try some of this. I need something a little bit more difficult. The reason why I say that is I don't want to mess this up and break it because I'm I'm acting like a fool on a live stream. Let's nap on something I have more of. I've got more of this. So let's just try this. This works pretty good too. Maybe it's too good for me as well. Okay, so this is the view a lot of people like. I don't know what to call this view. The front view of the napping. For some reason, people like this view. Not everybody, of course. I prefer the first person view where you can see what the napper sees. But some people like to get their angleometers out and they figure out the angles. Yeah. They need to figure out the angles. The guys that insist on knowing specific things are usually the new guys. The new guys, for somehow magically, they know exactly what they need to learn napping. They say, I need to have this and this and this. You need to show me this and this and this to learn napping. Because I'm new, I know exactly what I need to know. I know exactly what I need to know and what I need to see. So you better show it to me because I'm new. That's how I know. Yeah, you don't know diddly. And whatever you think you might know is probably the opposite of what you need to know. Yeah. Some people, they I need to know the angles. No, you just need to start hitting rock and practice because the brain stores the angles subconsciously in your mind. You don't need to know them. The more I nap, the more I know that your brain has been over thousands and thousands of years been adapted to memorize subconsciously all the complicated stuff when it comes to napping. All we need to do is practice this. That's it. Practice, 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 practice. Now some would say, yeah, but it's got to be perfect practice in order to be good practice. You know? Practice makes perfect, but only perfect practice makes perfect. Yeah, well, that's bad advice. Just practice. If you are still having lots of trouble after practicing 8 hours per week and you've napped 400 pounds of stone, then yeah, something's wrong. 400 pounds of stone and 8 hours per week minimum. If you're still having problems after that, it's the stone, it's your tools, it's some sort of mental blockage. It is something major that's messing you up. But after practicing 8 hours a week and consuming 400 pounds of stone, you should be able to say, oh, okay, I think I got it now. I kind of understand how things are flaking, and I understand now how to use the tools. And I don't need to ask all these newbie questions or demand blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. For years, I've been advocating 400 pounds of stone, okay, to get the hang of it. And you might say, okay, where's the calculator? 400 pounds of stone times $4 a pound. That's like $1,600. You're kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. You don't have that much to spend. You better figure out how to go to Knapping's and pick up debitage for free. Yeah. Or something. Yep. It can get expensive if you have to buy all your stone. Or you can switch over to glass and then you can nap for free. 400 pounds of glass, at least 8 hours per week. You'll get the hang of it. And you don't even need to know what it's called. If you're napping glass, it's so easy because everybody's glass is the same as everybody's glass. What's your napkin? Glass. What kind of glass is it? Oh, it's that glass that's, glassy. Oh, yeah, I know that kind of glass. Yeah. I had that same kind of glass. Really? What a coincidence. Hey, dude, you got some glassy glass over there? Yep, I got some too. Man, we're so lucky we got all the same kind of glassy glass. Yeah. I wish it was like that with rocks too. That way people wouldn't get all hung up on. What's it called, man? If I don't know what it's called, I'm going to die. I can't have no conversations. You don't like conversations anyway. Why do you want to have conversations? You don't like them anyway. I know guys that they hate talking to people, but they want to know what's called so they can have conversations. It's a paradox. Yeah, wrapped in an enigma. You want to know what this is called? Yeah. Have you talked to anybody about it? Heck no, I don't talk to people. Why do you need to know what it's called if you don't even talk to anybody? Oh, I go online, yeah. I talk to gazillions of people online. You mean sight unseen, so you can't compare in person what you got? Yeah, sight unseen with people who are randos. It's great. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say. Must be awesome. Mm-hmm. Randos, they know a lot. They know their stuff, these randos. Yeah, they do. Some people might say, are you saying Rambos or randos? What's a rando? Randos are just random people online. Yeah. It seems like everyone trusts the randos. Yeah, there was this cool guy online. I don't know who he is, but he had some excellent information. You mean sight unseen by a stranger? Yeah, sight unseen by a stranger. Best type of information you can get. Yeah. You mean he wasn't really actually doing it? No, he was not actually Flintknapping, but he knows a lot about it. Yeah. Okay. Whatever you say. What did I miss? Carson Wallace. I think I've seen you before. We got 38 people watching. Awesome. Let's see. I haven't checked the auction. There's an auction going on right now. If you're having trouble posting or finding the auction, if you want to bid, I'm going to be checking here soon. What I do is I put a like on all the bids that I see. Let me do that now while I'm thinking about it. Okay, this actually feels like a heat treat. I've been trying to, make this nice and smooth and regular. When I see, I'm tapering these ends down, but I have a habit of leaving the base kind of wonky, but the tip nice and tapered. And then as long as the ends are thinner than the middle, I'm good. That's my rule. I do have to get rid of this lump right here, though. The next thing. The thing is, I've got a fossil right there. So I'm waiting to remove more of the edge so it's stronger to remove that fossil. See that? Sometimes I go pretty deep. So you need a big scoop out to get that out. Then there's this patch of, it looks like limestone, but it's actually included inside the stone. It looks like a cortex, but I think it's not cortex. It's just within the stone itself. Okay, so far that's what I got, and it feels like a heat treat. The way it's been napping, I've got some good flakes off of this. All right, so let me check the auction, and I will put a like on everything that I see. That's how you know that I see your bids. You comment on the pre-populated comments that I put in there with the item numbers and stuff, you'll see. If you go to my auction video and look in the comment section, you can see there's activity going on. And then what I do is I put likes on everything I see. Everyone likes the green point. Ooh, there's a lot of bids. There's 9 bids on the green point. And we're up to 75, 76, 80, $81. Awesome. That'll help me replace the money I spent on that. People are a knife, KRF, blade. Okay, Marty, you got the high bid so far on that one. Oh, dang. Jim. Is Jim in the house? Jim Downhour, he was asking me about that Coshocton, and he's got the high bid so far. I hope you get it, Jim. I got more Coshocton in case you can't get that one. I got more coming up in future auctions. Who sent me that box? Mac Bales, did you sent me that Coshocton, right? Thank you. I owe you big time. Let's see. Okay, I think I've seen all the bids. Yes. The bids are your comments and your comments are your bids. I think I've seen everybody's. All right. Let me just check one more time. All right, excuse me while I know I'm not napping, but just hold on a second. I got an auction going on. It's not a live auction. I just post a video and everyone comments, and their bids are their comments and their comments are their bids. Okay. Yes. Yep, I think I put a like on everything that I see. Okay, excellent bids. Thank you very much. I have excellent bidders. Yes, I do. Let's see here. If you have a question, I probably won't be able to see it until 7:45 Eastern time. Administrator says, you have $80 bids on Obsidian? Crazy. Will you consign a few of my points on your next auction? Actually, no. I mean, I could, I suppose. I've sold tools, but usually I only sell what people donate to my channel. I don't consign for others. You should have your own auctions and stuff. Because if I consign them, that means I got to ship them out. I got to do the shipping on those. And then if it breaks in shipping, I'm responsible for doing a replacement, right? Unless we can figure something out. Okay, let me get back to napping. I'm trying to get this into a nice little biface. Nice, smooth biface. Ooh, that worked out well. Anybody want a little fossil? That fossil didn't fussle. It just came right out. And I didn't scoop it too much, though. That's the story of my life. I scoop it out too much. Yeah, this looks like it'll work well, this material. It is cooperating. I have not ground down the edges, though. Enough. I need to use the bopper a little bit more, probably. Get some of this lumpage out. Oh, I scooped it way too much trying to get that fossil out. I didn't need to do the scoop out. Excuse me, I didn't need to scoop it out that much. Oh well. Let's see. I miss and I sneak up on it. Why? Because that's the kind of flake I want to get. All right. So if I were to try to hit that just right on the first strike, I probably won't be able to get that on the first strike. People want to see those on the first strike. Okay. But I had to sneak up on it. I had to make sure I just barely touch it. It reminds me of, I heard it in a song that somebody got touched on the head with a baseball bat. It's like touching it on the head with the baseball bat, except you're using a bopper. Yeah, he touched me with a baseball bat. Anyway, those are the kind of flakes I like to get it thinned. But there's an inclusion in this one. Look at that, right in the middle. That's not as bad in the middle, but it can ruin your day. See that? Hopefully that's not too deep. We'll see. Let me go down to a smaller size bopper. That way I don't smash this old Kingdom Come. Where is it? There it is. Smaller bopper. And this one has a screw top. This is the best one so far, Mike Tufts. These little screw topped. These last the longest. They're awesome. I'm going to send a couple of these to Matthias Melander. Yep. Or one of them. I think I have one that I got a spare one. This is one of my favorites, this size here. I don't know how many ounces it is. It's cool. It's a good one. See, I hit that on the first strike, but I scooped it too much. Dang it. I mean, I got a flake on the first strike on that one, but I scooped it too much. It's better if I sneak up on it and just barely touch it. Tetch, T-E-C-H. It's a little bit more gentle than a strike. It's a tetch. All right. No, it's not going to work as a Flintknapping term. Why not? People make up Flintknapping terms all the time. Not me. I'm not allowed to. Who am I to do that? I'm a nobody. That's why I can't make up these terms. I see. I got to be all archaeological. Yeah, then I can make stuff up. Mm-hmm. Oh, dang, that is a problem area. I'm going to have to nap that out of there, okay? Excuse me while I nap that away. Cannot have that anywhere near the edge. No. What did you do? I don't know. What did I do? That thing you just did. I don't know. I don't see nothing. What did I do? You said you just did something. Oh well. I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yep. Flintknapping. Why did I do Flintknapping? I still cannot figure out why I ended up doing Flintknapping. No. I don't know why. That's not good. Hitting it on the first strike, it makes you look like you know what you're doing, but then you end up not doing it right. Yeah. I don't like hitting on the first strike when it's important because I end up doing this stuff. I crunch the edge because I'm trying to hit it on the first strike, try to get good results on the first strike. Why do I try to? it saves time if you can do it. Get the flake that you want on the first strike. It saves time. But it also messes things up. And when it does, you lose time. So I don't know. I'm just going to continue to miss. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. They can go get themselves a little crybaby sandwich. Make them feel all better. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Oh, almost got it. I almost did it. What happened to the stream? Something happened to the stream. Where is it? Everyone can hear me still or not? Yes, it's dark and blind. What the heck? I'm going to start it over then. Because we still got 30 minutes left. It has a lock on the screen, but I don't know how to unlock it. I didn't do anything. The sound is good, yeah, but I didn't do anything. It does have a lock symbol on the screen, but I didn't lock it. Let me see what's going on here. I don't see it. There's no unlock button. I'm clicking the screen. I do a right click and it doesn't have unlock. I don't know how to unlock this. Oh, maybe it's on the phone. Let's see. Let me do my phone here. Hold on. It could be the phone itself. No, that's not it. Okay, so the phone is connected. Everyone can still see me. I did tap the power button. There it goes. I had to hit the resume. All right, we're back, it looks like. Okay, I'll wait. Bingo, yeah. Hey, all right, so what I had to do is I had to, hit the log into my phone again and then hit the unpause button. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so I just hit a flake off to remove a step fracture. I lost my momentum though, trying to get an explanation of what I was doing. See, there's a step fracture on that side because I crunched it and I shot a flake from the tip to try to get to it. I almost got it. Okay. It did thin it down, but I still have that nasty step fracture that I don't know how I'm going to get yet. I'm going to get that out of there. All right, so I got to watch my phone now and make sure it doesn't do stuff by itself. Holy moly. Keith Ricketts says, last time I seen all black, I woke up surrounded by my marbles. Joe Rodwald, I don't think I've seen you before in the chat. Sal says it's probably my fault. It's all Sal's fault. Okay, we got someone to blame here. There's no community tab on the desktop? No, you can't do anything on community on the desktop. As far as I know. The desktop also is weird when it comes to looking at the shorts, I think. But yeah, community stuff is difficult to see or impossible to see on the desktop. Mike Tuff says, I bet that was your AI Sev doing that. She's pissed. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe my assistant's sabotaging me. she's got her own channel now, so she's no longer my assistant. She's doing her own thing. And they're changing up the software that I'm using, or the website I'm using is changing up the animation right now. They're rolling out their new animator, and she looks different now. So I don't know. I hope they better fix it. Yeah, they better fix their stuff, or I'm going to unsubscribe to it. I'm going to stop paying my monthly fee to access that. I don't like when new stuff is rolled out and it's worse than the old stuff. We'll see. I'll give them a little bit of time to try to figure that out. Fix their stuff. I'm trying to learn how to do this AI stuff. I can animate almost anything that I can draw. I can start to do this. They used to call it CGI, or computer generated images. Now they call it AI. Anyway, I'm trying to learn how to do this. And they keep changing it up on me. Anyways, this is napping very cooperatively. Look at that. I can get long, feathery flakes that are thin. As the flakes get thinner, they tend to not feather. But this stuff is doing it. This looks like crud, but it's actually pretty good. How do I judge it as good, quote unquote good? If it stays cooperative as the flakes get thinner and as the workpiece gets thinner, if it doesn't step fracture all over the place, it's good. Some people say, you're step fracturing because you're not doing it right. Yeah, that too, but in a lot of cases, it's the stone. If it lacks flexibility, it's not going to feather out right. It's not going to feather out nicely, I mean. Now you got me saying it. It's not doing it right. Yeah. Don't get me saying that it's not doing it right, because there's really no right and wrong way of doing this. With practice, it'll all straighten itself out. And your napping might look totally different from someone else's way of napping. Or it could be very similar, but subtle tweaks make all the difference. Yep. So have you figured out that your mind takes over the complicated stuff when it comes to napping? Have you figured that out, or is it that's not the way it works with you? Because maybe some people have to think about the whole process every second, every millisecond, every fraction of a second. They need to be thinking about the angles and the forces and the flake paths and all that. Are you the type that has to think consciously every time? And you got to think consciously, because if you just let your mind go, you'll sit there and go, okay, now what do I do? If I just let my mind go, and it doesn't do anything. I got to think about everything extremely precise and consciously, and everything I've got to think about: hand position, mallet position, flaker position, edge quality, exactly what the edge needs to be, exactly what the tool tip needs to be, exactly the position of the angle. I got to think about everything every minute, and I got to make adjustments according to what I'm thinking and not what I'm feeling. Is that you? You got to make adjustments according to what you think. There's no feel to it whatsoever. Maybe there are some people like that. If there is, I need to adjust how I talk about Flintknapping. I'm thinking that most people, regardless of what stupid stuff might be up in their brain, their subconscious will nap well. Yeah. Because our brains have developed over millions, well, maybe not millions, but thousands of years to take over the complicated stuff. So that you can nap well, even though you sound like a dum-dum. Yeah, take it from me. Yeah. How do I know? I don't know. I'm trying to nap with edges that are too thin. And you get crushings if you try to nap with edges that are too thin. But I don't want to lose length, but oh well. Now I messed it up. Like I have to lose more length now. Some people hate that because they go, I don't learn nothing if you don't maximize it. I want to see maximization, yeah. And not only I want to see maximization, I want to see a performance like I'm watching a ballet or I'm watching something really cool, like a well-directed movie. That's what I want to see, or I don't learn nothing. Is that you too? Because then I got to adjust the way I make my videos. Yeah, because I just wing it most of the time. I just, whatever fits in the screen, whatever I've got going at the time, I just wing it. If it doesn't work out, oh well, like right there. How did I know that was going to snap? It's because I'm trying to do too much. I'm trying to thin it too fast. It's good material. That was my fault. There's no inclusion or nothing in there. It's just something I wanted to try to thin that down too fast, and I took too much off. So I'm not maximizing it. I lost some length. Yeah. So now you're going to get ticked off and not learn anything. Oh, well. So I don't think there's people out there that have to think about every single little thing, every single minute, every single second. Right? You just think about things in general and you go by feel on the napping. Let me know if you're the kind that has to think about everything at every second. Let me know. That way I can adjust the way I talk about napping. I'm thinking the human brain has already figured all that stuff out. Over time, the ones that survive the best are the ones that have a subconscious that can take care of the complicated stuff. Ah, yes. And sometimes you get lucky. You need a little bit of luck to get, like I just got lucky and removed that step fracture off the edge there. It's still a little bit of crackle going on, but I got lucky in it. The flake I took actually wiped out the whole step fracture, but it left a little remnant. That's it. Lucky. Now I just got to get lucky on the rest of it, right? You can't depend on luck. It's good to get it once in a while, but you can't depend on it. Yeah. Some of the best looking points are also the luckiest. That's why on some days you may do an excellent point, and the next day it seems like you forgot everything. When actually what's happening is you got lucky on that day that you made the excellent point, and you didn't get lucky today. And you think it's you, but it's not. Sometimes you just get lucky and you have a good day. get good results. Can't always have good results. Not with a skill that's based on probabilities. It's a probabilistic skill. I need to start using that word more often. Flintknapping is a probabilistic skill. It's only understandable as probabilities. Similar to quantum mechanics, only understandable through probabilities. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. Why does it do that? See, see, these are ring cracks. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can show you. See that right there? That's called a ring crack. Now, some internet randos that think they know what they're talking about say that happens with soft hammer. I'm actually using the hard copper for this particular operation. This is the opposite of a soft hammer. It's a hard hammer. So I'm getting this ring crack with a hard hammer. Now, internet randos will say, oh, I recognize that flake. That's like a bending flake. That's caused by soft hammer. Yeah, see? It's got all the characteristics of a soft hammer bending flake. Right? That's how you did it? You just saw how I did it, right? With a hard hammer, with indirect percussion, not with soft hammer and direct percussion. Right? You saw it. So the internet randos, they don't know what they're talking about, because if you see a bunch of these in the archaeological record, it usually means that they're napping on edges that are too thin. It doesn't mean they're using soft hammer. You get it? Got it? Good. Dang it, I hate that. I hate them damn bending flakes. Look at that dang bending. I got your bending right here. Some people might say, no, I've gotten those with soft hammer. Were you napping on a delicate edge? Well, yeah, but I used a soft hammer. That's what matters, because I nap to the narrative. I don't pay attention to the napping itself. I listen to the narrative, and if it agrees with my napping, I'll go with the narrative. Don't be that guy. Yeah. Just because the narrative says that that's a soft hammer bending flake doesn't mean it's right. Okay? All right. I got a bunch of those this time around because I'm misjudging how thick the edge needs to be. I'm thinking it doesn't need to be that thick because it's actually napping very easily, but now I've got an asymmetry. I took too much out. It's like an overshot in reverse. It bugs me. Overshots and ring cracks. To me, a ring crack is like a reverse overshot. It takes too much of the edge away. And that was a good edge too. But I can still make something. It just bugs me. So I'm going to stop napping because I know that I'm actually messing this up because it's on video. I should know better than to strike edges that delicate. See, it's getting thin already on the edges. But in many cases, I can still hit it and it works because it's napping well. But I run into problems. If I take it for granted, it'll do that ring crack nonsense. Yeah. And I still messed up the base too. See that? Trying to hit edges that are too delicate. because I'm thinking it'll still work. It's snapping pretty good. I can take advantage of it and take shortcuts, and it'll forgive me. This rock is very forgiving. Yeah, it'll forgive me, and I can get away with all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, I can't take it for granted. I can't abuse its trust. Anyways, where are we on the chat? I'm trying to look at the chat with my glasses. I don't need that for the chat. Okay. Let's see here. Sal, you say I put restrictions on you? What are we talking about now? Ed Minister says it's forgiving until you have 5 millimeter deep edges like that. Yeah. I abused its trust. It doesn't deserve it. It's one of those rocks that didn't deserve it. It didn't deserve that. Yeah. Dang it. I gotta treat it much nicer. I gotta do this off camera so I can treat it nicely. I'll be totally out of character. Yeah. I can't show you that side of me. That I'm gonna be nice to the rock and actually pay attention to it. Yeah. Usually I say, I know you're not gonna like it. I hate to do it, but it's the law of the West. That's what I usually do with these rocks. I don't say, okay, I'm going to be nice today. I'm not going to abuse the privilege. You're a very nice rock. You don't deserve to be treated badly. I don't want to show that side of me on video because people will freak out. Really, dude? No, I'm kidding. All right. I gotta empty out my shoes. All right, I'm back in the chat. I'm going to end at 8 p.m. Eastern. We got like 13 minutes. If you have any questions, please ask. Sal says, abuse it. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Is that Greenpoint a rock? Yeah, it's rock. It's actually rock that doesn't need to be heat treated. I don't think it's heat treated. I think that's the way it is naturally. It looks like an opal of some sort, but it's stronger than opal. I wish I could figure it out. Eric's Rocks knows what that stuff is called. I just forget what it's called. Who's Eric's Rocks? Just look him up on Facebook. Eric's Rocks. Interesting guy. Interesting fellow. Ed Minister says the abrading on it is taking too big of flakes, most likely. It happens to me on bull gravel a lot. Danny Moore says, Marty, I ordered a mallet. Okay. Like Patrick, he uses it 3 foot long, and I'm going to send you a piece. Okay. Let's see. So no questions? If you have a question and I missed it, please ask again. I'm looking back in the chat right now. Mike Mason says, a younger, less knowledgeable me had to think about it more, but all my knowledge was from experimentation. Back then, I couldn't even pay attention to the outside world while napping. Yeah, I see. Okay. I see. Okay, so there's no questions? Jesse says, oh my God, I just realized that I could zoom in on Patrick's napping. I didn't realize you could do that on live. Yeah, you can touch the screen and zoom in to any video. Just try it on your phone. You touch the screen where the video is and you expand it out with your fingers like this, just zzz, and you can zoom in on a video and really get in there and see what's going on if that's what you need. I mean, the internet randos recommend Zoom, the Zoom feature. Actually, a lot of the internet randos don't do that. They're like, uh-oh, I didn't know I could do that. Where have I been? You know, you've been living under rocks, so to speak. Okay, let's see. Marty says, I had to post it in 3 videos because my GoPro would record at 8-minute segments. Administrator says, we're all master nappers now. We don't have no questions. Cool then. It's easier for me in that case. And let's see. You can post, can you post videos in the community section? Will it allow you to upload a video into the community section? I think you can upload links to your videos and links to channels. If you need me to watch a video, you just post a link, I suppose. Hey man, watch my video to see if I'm actually doing it right. If it naps, you're doing it right. Okay? All right. Excuse me while I check the auction. Okay, I'm on my phone, okay? I'm not secretly napping something without you looking. Not that I would do that. I would never do that. Yeah, you could hear it if I was doing that anyway. So. Oh, let's see. We got lots of bids. So many bids. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. I'll be traveling. I'll be spending lots of money on gas and rocks. I'm going to buy rocks at the Knappings. I'm looking for special stuff, like the green, Mexican green rock. That was special. After I bought that, I said, I'm not going to buy anything else. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, landscaping rocks sometimes work. Just got to look carefully. But landscape yards, I've been recommending landscape yards for years, at least 10 years. For some reason, it takes so much time. It takes a long time for people to get the message. But you can go to landscape yards that carry rocks and just go in there and look. They're going to ask you, can I help you? And you just say, yeah, I'm looking for rocks that I can chip because I make arrowheads. Say exactly those words if you want. I'm looking for rocks that I can chip because I make arrowheads. You go, okay, what kind of rocks are those? Flint? Do you have flint in here or something similar? I don't know, maybe. Like over there, they've got those rocks kind of chip a little bit. And they'll kind of work with you because they want to sell rocks. And if they can sell you a whole yard of it, you can buy actually big old tons. How do I explain this? You can buy a scoopful on a bucket loader of rocks. And if you have a truck or something, they'll just load it in the back of your truck of nappable stones. If you're lucky to have one of those landscape yards that has nappable rocks in your area, and it's cheap, relatively speaking, per pound. In Texas, you can get bull gravel like that. You can buy it by the yard or by the bucketful. And then let's say 10% of that stuff is going to be nice. It's still cheaper, even if you only use 1 out of 10 nodules, than to buy rock that's proven to be really good by the pound. Jim Cooper says, Patrick, you should check out author, Patrick McManus. He is a hilarious humor writer who is dry as a desert, and you'll love his short stories. I'm sure I would. Yeah. Alan says, I'm planning on mahogany triple flow and buttery banded silver sheen as the bulk of my haul. It's the highest quality in my opinion. It sounds like it. Sal says stay away from Walmart. Yeah, the landscaping in Walmart. They've got cameras. They're going to watch you. Don't be stealing stuff from the Walmart parking lot. Let's see. Alan is going to the Buttes in a few weeks. I see. Let's see here. Okay, so no questions. I'm going to end the stream in about 4 minutes. Administrator says, there's nothing in my Walmart parking lot except nasty old used diapers. You got campers in your parking lot or at your Walmart? Sometimes there's a lot of overnight campers, and then they apparently forget where the trash cans are. Here, they don't have rocks in the landscaping. And if they do, they're excellent for hammerstones. But there's nothing, there's no flint or chert. There is a lot of nice quartzite hammerstones here in Vermont. That I don't have a problem finding. There's a ton of nice quartzite hammerstones. Yeah. That's one good thing about here. But I suppose that's common in many places. Yeah, whiz bottles. Yeah, I know. I've seen all kinds of stupid stuff in the Walmart parking lots that the campers leave behind. Yeah. How do I know? I don't know. Have I been a camper in a Walmart parking lot? Oh, yes. I've done that more than once. I've lived a van life. I lived in my van for 3 years. Yeah. 3 years straight. I lived in a van. And I did napping in the van. I traveled with all my stuff for napping in my van. Administrator says I Walmart camped last summer out in Chaco Canyon. Yeah, not all Walmarts will allow you to do it though. So I check. I go into Walmart and I check and I ask at the service desk, do you allow overnighters? And they go, yeah, but just don't park near the service entrance where the trucks go by. The only thing that I've heard as a guideline is don't block the access areas where trucks come in and out. Leave them plenty of room. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. I will be out of everybody's way. Jesse says, Patrick, great napping on that rock today. You made it look easy. I expected it to be a little tougher the way it looked. Yeah, I thought it was going to be tougher too. It actually ended up being better than I thought. Mike Mason says, down by the river? Yeah, we don't have no Walmarts down by the rivers. They're always up on hills around here. Hippie Mike says, how would I get a nap-in going? You can post it on my community. Nap-in at such and such address. Or you can post it on Facebook. If you're into making flyers, you can make a flyer with a graphic artist's program or, what do they call it? It's not Word. It's, that software that allows you to make presentations. Anyway, you can make flyers and then email them to people. Nap-in at such and such. If you have friends that might show up. It's like hosting a party, yes. If you've hosted barbecues, it's the same thing. In fact, make it a barbecue nap-in. That always works well. People tell them, hey, it's potluck. It's a potluck nap-in. You bring whatever you want. And bring rocks. I'll be down by the river. Really? Yeah, I'll make it a tailgate nap-in party. Bring your own everything. Yeah. Hippie Mike says, I'm all alone in my misery. But why? You don't have to be. Just start one. There's a lot of people in Colorado that want to go to Nappins. You would probably get 100 people asking. I'm not kidding either. Sal says, I just ate 2 barbecue sandwiches. See, Ed Gould, I'm talking to Hippie Mike. He lives in Colorado, so since there aren't any Nappins in Colorado and everyone asks me about them, if there is any, his should be a success right away because he'd be the only one in Colorado where he lives to have a napping. Brent says, another good one. Thanks, Patrick, and nice to hear from the rest of Ewans. Ed Gould says, I'm north of Greeley. See, Ed Gould will go to your napping, Hippie Mike. Ed Gould in the chat. He's north of Greeley, so maybe that's not that far. Jesse says, Sal, I'm peanut butter and jelly. It sounds good. Ed Gould says, I used to do one in Pawnee grasslands. Hippie Mike says it's 2 hours from Greeley. So there you go. Already got 2 people that can be at your napping. You and Ed. Something is updating on my computer. It's not leaving me alone. Alan Cole says, save some green rock for me, please. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have that much. I might be able to save you some flakes. Yeah. Okay, so it's 8:02. I'm going to say good night and check the auction again. The auction closes at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to just close the auction, right? That's and announce the winners at 9 p.m. or 9:01. I start announcing winners at 9:01. And try not to bid at the last minute because it's hard for me to figure out who wins when you do that. All right. So I'll see you next time. The next live stream is Wednesday. And then I probably won't have a Friday night live stream. And I might be gone Saturday too. So the next live stream might be, well, it will be Wednesday, but the one after that might be Monday. I might skip the Friday one this next time here. All righty. So, but I'll make the announcements. I'll keep you up to date. Okay. Thanks everyone for participating. Very good to see everybody. And we'll see you next time. All right. Okay. I'm still reading some. Yep. Good night. Good night, everybody. Hit the like button on the way out. Yes, yes. Ralph says, I did one at Algonac State Park. That way we can shoot pistols too. I call it the pistols and point snapping. Awesome. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.